And we'll be going into that game shortly here. Tell your friends to get their asses on the PC and tune into this insane match. We're about to crown the women's world champion here. It's either going to go to Finland or it's going to go to China. And I have to say, this has been a pretty close series so far.
Yeah, it certainly has been. Only 2-1 right now. Of course, this is kind of match point now for Soyhi. If she can take one more game, she will be the champion, which is a pretty big deal.
And let's say that she does lose this game. She is picking the next map as well.
Yeah,
so
that's
she
right.
may have a map that she's more comfortable on with. Mayuki in a tough spot, but Mayuki looking very scary here. It seems like Mayuki really just needs to be able to get in there and do the damage, and if she can keep doing that damage, the game just snowballs.
Well, they have chosen the map, and it looks like she's actually going to go with Catalina. Going to leave Foxtrot for the last map if we get that far. You know, kind of a funny map. People do avoid it a lot of the time because it's a little bit harder to play on than other maps.
Yeah.
It's one of the more different maps that we've had ever in professional StarCraft2, in fact.
Yeah, and that's where StarCraft2 is really getting better and better about as the maps get a little bit crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
And it just makes for more diverse games.
Well, Catalina, kind of a funny map as well. A lot of open airspace. Don't know if that'll come into play, but the mains can be kind of far, too.
Introducing our two players here from China in the bottom right in the green. She has to win this game and the next. Make some noise for Mayuki. And her opponent over here in the center left from Finland. She just needs to win one of these games, this one or the next. Her ID is Soyhi. So again, Artos is running another three-player map. We saw Mayuki send out drone scouts early on, although we don't see any just yet here.
No,
I'm wondering if this game's going to look a lot like merry-go-round.
Well, kind of hard to say. She is scouting quite quickly once again. So kind of staying with this type of early game strategy. I do wonder why she chose the map, because you can notice this map is a bit bigger than some of the other maps that we've seen already.
Sure, it's a huge map.
It takes a while to actually walk across, which means rushes come a little bit later, and that can make all the difference. Gives you a little bit more time to get your defenses up.
Well, that drone is coming up now. And luckily for Mayuki, she is scouting the correct spots. So she'll get in there and see what the build orders are looking like. Pools, spawning pools are synced up.
Well, same builds here to start. Both, I would describe this Tasteless as the most defensive build in the matchup. To just go for a spawning pool into a hatchery. It's a great way to kind of be middle of the road and probably not die to anything.
And behind this, they'll both be taking their hatcheries at roughly the same time. So it's neck and neck right now. It's really going to come down to execution from here. There's no build order advantage.
No, not that we have seen thus far. We'll keep an eye on that production tab and see if someone goes in a funny direction.
And it's going to be a little bit of a slow game here for the start. Both of them macroing up. We did see they do like Mayuki likes her aggression, but she wants to get out a reasonable number of drones first.
Yeah,
which I like.
It makes the aggression much less all in. Like if you actually have an economy to go back for, it's really, that's what it is. It's aggression. You can get out there and attack and make some things happen, but you still have an economy. You can still build more units to continue the attack, or maybe just expand and start getting upgrades.
Well, the drones and queens are going to hatch here. And we do have the extractor here for Soyhi. Mayuki actually just staying on the minerals for the time being. She's getting a lot of minerals, Tosis.
That is true, and we've seen her get earlier gases normally in this series so far. So I wonder if this is going to be just like a massive roach type of play. When you see someone skip gas for this long, sometimes that is the case.
Well, the scouting links from Soyhi are coming down now. And she should be able to identify that there's been no extractors taken here.
Yeah, it's a really good piece of information.
Yeah, that's exactly what you needed to see there. And she'll get confirmation there. Bam. No extractors, no gas mine yet for Mayuki. And still no gas being made, even as that Ling is killed off.
Yeah, and Soyhi still making a spine crawler, so that's like really, really safe because the only thing that could attack her is a bunch of slow Zerglings, which is a strategy, but one not used too often.
You know, as good as Mayuki is at getting in there and doing damage and getting out, for instance, when we were seeing those hatcheries get picked off, it seems like Soyhi has just enough defense to get the lead, and then she knows how to take that lead and make that a home run and close out the game. So I think Soyhi is really playing to her strengths here and just defending against Mayuki, who really wants to be the first to initiate, the first to do damage.
Well, I don't think she's going to be the first to initiate here because look at this. Still no gases. Still just sitting there droning up like crazy. Her economy is going to be insane. And finally, looks like she's going to take some extra gases. And, ooh, even a third base.
Yeah, this third base actually out there a little bit closer to the center of the map here. Mayuki actually with still a good number of minerals banked up at home here. Now, did she get these gases too late? That's what I'm wondering, Artosis.
Well, if her third hatchery gets attacked before roaches are out, then she can't really do anything about it. But in this case, I don't know that that's going to happen. It looks like that roach horn's going to finish. She's mining a good amount of gas, so should be able to get a pretty sizable army up.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, for Mayuki, I think the gas is just late enough. You could see she had actually a lot of minerals. She could have cranked out a ton of roaches.
Yeah, you are quite right about that. Might have to make some slow Zerglings to go with these, but Mayuki has never really slowed down on making Zerglings throughout the series.
And 2 more gases have been taken here. Not sure if that's going to be the right balance here. It seems like Mayuki was a little bit off. Soyhi really not missing a beat. You could see her minerals and gas are just being spent so efficiently.
Well, that's what she's going to want to continue to do. Her third base is going to be a bit slower here, so definitely needs to make up for that with getting her drones out perfectly timed. And does finally scout the fact that there is, in fact, a third base already up for Mayuki.
Well, you know, this is a tough one to call so far, Artosis. I guess we could talk about some of the long-term stuff that will be happening later on here. We do have the missile upgrade here for Soyhi. That's obviously very important here, especially in a Roach v. Roach scenario, which is what it looks like this game is turning into. If she can just drag this game out, she could have a little timing window here.
Yeah, definitely. It could be the case. You know, I'm looking at these 2 builds and how they've gone so far, and I'm feeling like Mayuki is starting to run away with the game a little bit. Her economy got so scary with skipping gas for so long. She's got a good, quick third base. She's making a ton of roaches now. And even though she's going to be a little bit behind on roach speed, if she just stays defensive till it's done, I think that her macro is really going to kick in.
Yeah, I think you're right, Artosis. We see that Overseer, by the way, being driven out here. By Mayuki's queen.
But it's getting a scout off, and this tells her basically all she needs to know. The layer isn't done yet. Her roach speed will be done way before Mayuki's.
And roach speed going to be very important here for all these engagements. Oh, nice snipes here on these drones. Mayuki comes down to push away these roaches. But the angling here actually pretty good here for Soyhi. However, I don't think this should ever going to be a favorable engagement for Soyhi, considering how close we are to Mayuki's production facilities.
Yeah, and her macro is really kicking in here as we see. More and more roaches are spilling out. Very strong economy keeping them going, but does get supply capped. So that will slow her down quite a bit.
Well, she's going to have to retreat. That was a pretty big blow there for Soyhi. And this +1 missile attack, by the way, for her just now finishes. Mayuki now coming up, though. And, you know, she may be able to shut down the third base or maybe even go into the second base for a kill here. It's, again, another very favorable angle here for Mayuki. There's no way she can lose this engagement, especially as her +1 missile attacks are about to finish. And you can see Mayuki's identified that she is just starting to walk over Soyhi with more and more reinforcements coming up here. And I'd actually say a little bit of a quicker rate here than Soyhi's reinforcements are coming up there.
Yeah, Soyhi needs to pull back for the time being. She's got some nice upgrades and all, but you just can't fight against that much overwhelming roaches.
Yeah, it's just too scary. Supplies 117 to 137 with Mayuki in the lead. There's a chance, Artosis, we could be going into game number 5.
Yeah, right now, if I had to guess, I'd say Mayuki will win. But Soyhi is not done yet. She does have 3 bases. She does have roach speed as well as +1 attack. So if she takes a few good engagements, she's right back in it.
More roaches are coming up now for Mayuki. This is going to be a tough one. Mayuki's been very good at just getting in her opponent's face. But at the same time, we don't have that additional expansion here for Mayuki. So Mayuki, if she doesn't kill Soyhi, doesn't give her much of a lead. But this is a beautiful arc, and look at actually how good Mayuki is actually shoving in and microing. When she sees a favorable engagement, she just gets in there and does that damage.
Yeah, very well done for her this game, Tasteless. Look at that supply differential. Up 30 supply right now over Soyhi. So Soyhi has to do something, but oh god, she's even going to perhaps lose a space.
Wait. Is Mayuki just going to stick with us, stick to her guns here? Soyhi has a lot of roaches coming out here. She may even want to pull the drones, actually.
Oh, man, yeah, you are right about that. Soyhi in a lot of trouble. Mayuki has more and more roaches coming up, picking off so many roaches.
You know what, I think this
Oh.
game just ended.
I think you're
right.
I
think we're going to go to game number 5 here. The hatchery goes down. Too many roaches here for Mayuki as the drones are now being evacuated. The rest of them are killed. I think there's a high chance Mayuki goes straight from this point here, Artosis, all the way into the second base and probably wins this game.
Yep, you are right about that, Tasteless. We have 100 supply lead for Mayuki. No way to hold on in a mirror matchup like that. So game 5 it is. GG, well played from Soyhi. All right, Mayuki really showing a good macro game there, not just aggression available to our Chinese player.